like sharp minds. Brewed hot, sure bra. No sugar, no filter. Sip, think, repeat, repeat, repeat.
All right, fashion fans, buckle up, because we are diving headfirst into Paris Fashion Week's Autumn-Winter 2025-2026.
Oh, yeah.
We've got articles stacked high over here, reviews from all the major shows. We're talking the insider scoop, the trends, and of course, we're going to analyze all that, see what it says about, well, everything.
Like the world beyond the runway, right?
Exactly. So, was it just a whole bunch of crazy expensive clothes? Or was there something deeper going on?
Oh, it was definitely more than just the clothes this year. I mean, you could feel it. The designers were wrestling with some big ideas.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
Sustainability. Like what does luxury even mean in a world that feels, I don't know, kind of shaky?
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And speaking of shakeups, let's talk about the designers themselves, right? I mean, Sarah Burton leaving Alexander McQueen.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
After 13 years to go to Givenchy.
That was huge.
It was a fashion earthquake. You could feel the pressure on Burton. I mean, she had to honor Givenchy's legacy, right? All that elegance.
Right. But also bring her own thing, that dramatic flair she's known for.
Yeah, yeah. And did she pull it off?
She nailed it. The critics were raving. They called it a triumph.
A triumph. I love that. It's like she took that classic Givenchy look and just infused it with that dark romance we saw at McQueen.
Exactly. And that's what makes these designer shifts so interesting. It's not just musical chairs, It's about a vision.
Right.
How their unique vision changes the whole brand.
Okay, so that was a pretty safe bet, right? Burton and Givenchy. But then you have Hayter Ackerman going to Tom Ford. Talk about a gamble.
That was bold. Tom Ford is so iconic, so let's face it, sexy.
Yeah.
But Ackerman, he found a way. He balanced that Tom Ford sensuality with his own style. It was more like spiritual, artistic.
Interesting. So you're saying like two totally different styles?
They collided and somehow made something new.
Okay, so both Burton and Ackerman brought their own strong voices to these like established brands. Are we moving away from trends then?
It feels like it, right? I think in a world where everything is like a copy of a copy, a strong point of view that stands out,
right.
It reminds us fashion isn't about following the crowd. It's about expressing something, your own vision.
All right, well, we can't talk about bold moves without talking about Balenciaga. After that scandal, everyone was waiting to see what Demna would do.
Oh, yeah, he was walking a tightrope for sure. And his solution...
What would he do?
Everyday people, office workers, teens in tracksuits. The everyday, he called it.
So like normal clothes, that's kind of tame for him, isn't it?
Well, on the surface, yeah. But it's Demna. He always finds a way. Think like an oversized suit, but with these like creepy gloves. Or a hoodie with these giant clunky platform boots. It's still Demna.
Still unsettling.
Yeah.
I get it. So still pushing buttons, but maybe in a quieter way.
Yeah.
Is he trying to change what normal even means in fashion?
That's the thing about Demna. You never really know. Is he making fun of us and our obsession with normal? Is he saying even everyday clothes can be manipulated? It's up to us to decide.
Okay, so lots to unpack there. Yep. But let's move on to the trends, the overall vibes we saw on the runways.
Yeah.
It felt like a time machine exploded, right?
Yeah.
Every decade was making a comeback.
It was a real mix, yeah. Dior went full literary chic. They were channeling Virginia Woolf's Orlando, historical looks mixed with androgynous pieces.
Just to clarify, literary chic, we're talking flowing silhouettes, romantic vibes, maybe a little intellectual, right?
Exactly. It's not just about how it looks, it's about the ideas, the art.
I like that. And then there was Tom Ford, a mashup of 70s glam and 90s minimalism.
Even Chanel, Mr. Classic, they couldn't resist a little 80s. Those power shoulders were back.
For those who don't know, we're talking big, bold shoulder pads. Think Joan Collins and Dynasty.
Exactly. It's interesting how these old trends keep coming back. Maybe we want comfort, something familiar, when the world feels so unpredictable.
Right. But it's not just nostalgia, though.
No, not at all.
These designers, they're mixing it up, taking something old and making it new. Exactly. It's recognizing that good design, it's timeless. But fashion, it has to keep moving. It evolves.
Which brings us to this big question. Luxury in a recession. I mean, the economy is not looking good.
Yeah.
And yet we're seeing 10,000 euro handbags on the runway. How does that even work?
It might seem crazy, but for those luxury brands, it's all about scarcity. Exclusivity. If everyone can afford it, it's not luxury anymore.
Okay, but are they going to lose customers, when things are tough?
That's the risk they're taking. They're betting on that pull of exclusivity, hoping their core customers will stick around. But it does raise questions,
About?
Sustainability. Can we really keep doing this
Yeah.
economically, environmentally?
Okay, yeah, good point. And speaking of sustainability, we saw a lot of that at Fashion Week, too. Upcycled designs were everywhere.
It was encouraging, right?
Okay.
Maureen Serra was doing her thing, those patchwork pieces. Ellen Hodakova made clutches out of old bras. That's ingenuity. Taking something discarded and making it, covetable.
So it feels like designers are trying to find a balance. High-end and eco-conscious. But how much of it is real and how much is just marketing?
It's the big question, right? Some brands are putting in the work, making real changes. But some are just slapping a sustainable label on a few things. It's buyer beware, do your research, don't believe the hype.
Okay, I'm taking notes. Now, we can't forget about those moments, the ones that broke the internet. Fashion Week isn't just about the clothes, it's a show. Like Cappuccino turning their show into a LAN party. Gamers in the middle of the runway.
It was wild, models walking around them. I mean, talk about grabbing attention. They know what they're doing.
And then there was Valentino, models coming out of giant red neon bathroom stalls. What was that about? Performance art? Commentary? Bizarre? But everyone was talking about it.
It's all about the spectacle, something to remember, something to share, something to argue about. It's how brands stay relevant, but it makes you wonder, what's the role of all that in fashion?
Is it just for attention, or is there something deeper going on? I guess we have to decide. But it definitely got people talking. And speaking of big picture stuff, what about Fashion Week itself? Flying all those people around the world 4 times a year. Can we keep doing that?
It's a good question. Could we go digital?
Yeah.
Some shows? Anyway, there are pluses and minuses. Digital is more accessible, better for the planet. But a live show, that energy, that's hard to beat.
Yeah, this season you could feel that tension. Brands were trying AR and VR, but you could also see that appreciation for the real thing, the clothes, the craft.
Yeah, it's a crossroads. But, the industry is starting to think about its impact. There's more diversity. You see more mixed gender shows. People are aware. Things need to change. But it's slow.
So what's next? Where do we go from here?
That is the question, isn't it? Designers are pushing boundaries creatively, ethically. We're seeing technology blend with the magic of the real world. And there's this awareness that things need to change. It's messy, but it's happening. And, this season really felt like designers were exploring their heritage, not just bringing back old trends, but really digging into the DNA of these fashion houses.
Yeah, it was more than just pulling stuff from the archives. It was like they were reinterpreting the stories. Maria Grazia Chiuri at Dior, her collection was practically a love letter to Dior's history.
Oh, totally. You saw nods to Galliano, that theatrical flair, and you could see Foray in there too, those architectural silhouettes. And it was all woven into this grand story inspired by Orlando.
And for our listeners who haven't read it, Orlando by Virginia Woolf. It's about a character who travels through time and gender. So it makes sense that the collection had that mix of historical references and androgynous elements.
Exactly. Chiuri is so good at weaving these big ideas into her designs. It's high fashion, but with a modern twist. She's not afraid to, shake things up, but she always respects the house's heritage.
And then there's Chanel. Virginie Viard is out, so everyone was waiting to see where they'd go next.
They played it safe this time, that's for sure. Lots of tweed, the camellias, pearls, classic Chanel. It was like a tribute to the brand's DNA, but not exactly groundbreaking.
But even with that, playing it safe vibe, you could feel the anticipation for Mathieu Blazy. What's he going to do?
It's the calm before the storm, right? But Chanel, even in transition, they still command attention. Remember Anna Wintour at the Louvre Gala? Chanel couture?
Oh, yeah. Talk about a power move. When Anna Wintour wears something, people notice. And speaking of power moves, what about Saint Laurent? Anthony Vaccarello, he just gets that modern glamour, doesn't he?
He really does. It's confident, but with an edge. A little dangerous. This season was all about sharp tailoring, plunging necklines, and yep, those 80s power shoulders were back.
And the front row was packed. Rosé from Blackpink, Zoe Kravitz. It was a whole vibe.
Right. Powerful women who own their sensuality. I think Vaccarello understands that connection, fashion and pop culture. He knows how to create desire.
He's a master of those Instagram moments. And it's working. Saint Laurent's one of the few brands actually doing well in this economy.
It's true. And, even with all the craziness, all the uncertainty, there were some really clear themes this season. One that stood out to me was quiet luxury, like a reaction against all the logos and flashy branding.
Yeah, I felt that too. Understated elegance, subtle details. It's not about showing off, it's about quality. Those Hermes leather pieces, the cashmere sweaters, and the jewelry, it's like it whispers instead of shouts.
Exactly. Hermes, they're the kings of quiet luxury. Timeless pieces. You know they're expensive, but they don't scream it. It's about appreciating the craftsmanship, those little details that most people wouldn't even notice.
And we saw that in other collections too. Even Balenciaga with their, normal clothes. There was this underlying sense of quiet luxury.
Yeah, those suits, they might have looked ordinary, but the fabrics, the cut, the way they were just slightly off, it was all super high-end.
It's like luxury is changing. It's not about being loud anymore. It's about investing in pieces that last, that have a story, that aren't for everyone.
And I think it ties into that growing awareness of sustainability, People are moving away from fast fashion. They want things that are well-made, that will last.
Totally. And upcycling was huge this season. Marine Serre, Ellen Hodakova, even some of the big houses were using recycled materials.
Yeah, there's definitely more awareness about the environment, but we have to be careful. There's still a lot of greenwashing out there.
Right. A sustainable capsule collection doesn't mean the whole brand is eco-friendly.
Exactly. Don't just take their word for it. Look into it. How are the clothes made? Where do the materials come from? What's the brand actually doing to make a difference?
Do your research. So, looking ahead, what was the most exciting thing you saw? Or maybe even unsettling, like what's next for fashion?
Well, one thing's for sure, technology is going to be a big part of it. Think about Coperni's LAN party or those LED handbags at Louis Vuitton.
I love that. Imagine attending a fashion show virtually, from anywhere.
Or even trying on clothes virtually. Using AR, that could change online shopping completely.
But are we going to lose something? That human element, the craft, the emotion. There's something special about seeing fashion in the real world.
It's a tough balance. We need to embrace the new stuff, but we can't lose the things that make fashion, fashion. The craft, the creativity, the feeling, that's the challenge. How to stay relevant, how to push boundaries, but also stay true to what fashion is all about.
It's about finding that sweet spot. Art, technology, and responsibility.
And at the end of the day, it's about using fashion to make a positive impact. Celebrating diversity, supporting sustainability, or just helping people feel good.
This season felt like a real turning point. Like the industry was looking in the mirror, questioning itself, trying to figure out how to create a better future.
It was exciting. Fashion isn't just about pretty clothes. It can actually change the world.
We can't talk about Paris Fashion Week without mentioning how global it's become. It's not just Parisian designers anymore, is it?
It's true. We're seeing so much influence from all over the world, and it's changing what luxury means. I mean, Asian designers are making a huge impact.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like Kenzo, they came back with a bang this season.
They did.
Nigo, the Japanese streetwear legend, he's in charge now. And it's a whole new perspective.
That's so cool. So it's not just about, bringing in different aesthetics.
Yeah.
It's a whole new way of thinking about fashion.
Exactly. And it's not just Kenzo. Brands like Undercover, they're really pushing the boundaries. It's conceptual, it's challenging. There's so much talent coming out of Japan.
It's amazing. And it's not just the designers, right? The front rows are full of Asian celebrities, influencers. And their buying power, it's a force.
Oh, absolutely. The whole industry is changing to reflect that. It's becoming more global.
It's a good reminder that fashion, it's a universal language, right?
Definitely. It transcends borders, cultures. It's a way to connect.
And speaking of global influences, we're also seeing a lot of interest from the Middle East, especially in terms of, investment.
Oh, yeah. Brands like Valentino, Balmain, they're owned by Qatari investors. And events like Qatar Creates, Fashion Trust Arabia, they're attracting all the big names.
Right. And those events, they're not just about, the money. They're about fostering talent, building a fashion scene.
Exactly. And we can't forget about designers like Elie Saab, Zuhair Murad. They've been showcasing Middle Eastern fashion for years.
Their work is stunning. All that intricate beadwork, the luxurious fabrics, the silhouettes. They're red carpet staples for a reason.
It's true. And it's all coming together, all these cultural influences, they're merging, evolving, creating a new language of luxury.
A language that's richer, more diverse.
And constantly changing, which is what makes it so exciting.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into Paris Fashion Week, I have to admit, I'm feeling a little bit of everything. Hopeful, but also a little skeptical.
I get it. We saw incredible creativity, a willingness to try new things, and designers are really trying to address the issues like sustainability.
But we also saw that greenwashing, right?
Yeah.
And that focus on exclusivity, it can feel a little out of touch sometimes.
It's true. Fashion, it's a work in progress, but it is progressing. And we have to keep pushing, asking the tough questions if we want a more sustainable, equitable, and creative industry.
Absolutely. We all have a role to play. So as we end here, what are your takeaways? What really stood out to you this season?
I think what really resonated with me is that fashion is powerful. It's a way to express yourself, to show the world who you are, what you believe in.
It's a language, right? And we can use it to celebrate beauty, to challenge the status quo, to start important conversations.
Exactly. And this season proved that fashion can be a force for good. But it's a journey. We're not there yet.
So we have to stay curious, stay informed, and keep talking about these things.
The future of fashion, it's in our hands.
And that's it for our deep dive into Paris Fashion Week. Thanks for joining us.
Cappuccino, white crock, mines, brewed hot, served raw. No sugar, no filter. Sip, think, repeat, repeat, repeat.